if this is your first business, I recommend starting with bootstrapping. And the main reason is just like you want to pay off ignorance debt. The last thing you want to do is take your friends and family's money and then lose it because you don't know what you're doing. That's my opinion. Everyone, your results may vary. You can stick of the names on that list that I mentioned, Jeff Bezos, the people that he knew invested, Bill Gates, the people, I think he had rich parents. I'm sure they helped him out in the beginning. I don't know the actual public documentation of that, but I think he had a little bit of help in the beginning there. But the thing here is that like, I don't think you're going to want to go raise a ton of capital from everyone you know, maybe even VCs, if it's your first shot. Again, your results will vary. Your life is unique. But the main thing is that bootstrap will typically be the slowest of the four paths. And that is usually because it takes money to grow. And if you have to make the money to grow, it's almost like having a car factory built inside of the car. It's very difficult to do. Humans do it. We have human factories inside of our humans. Weird stuff, right? But in business design, it's much, much more difficult, right? It's slower to build the capital reallocation machine while also building the machine that makes the capital to begin with. You kind of have to have both. Now, the main advantage of this is that you keep the control and the equity. So you have a whole, bigger slice of the pie. You decide the pace, the strategy, and ultimately you can exit on your own time horizon or never exit at all, right? And the goal is that you design a compounding vehicle, which is either recurring or reoccurring within the business. And then you let that over time do the heavy lifting. That's the end goal. When you bootstrap, you incur more debt than any other vehicle. Now you're like, wait a second, I thought I was using my own money to start this thing. Yes, but you incur every other type of debt. And oftentimes, every other type of debt is harder to pay off than money is. So what do I mean? If you're starting with your own cash, it's very difficult for you to attract like a star talent team of 10 people that all need $1 million plus per year to work and actually grow this thing. If you're venture backed, you can do that with some stock and then also decent cash compensation. And so that becomes harder to do. So you incur lots of management and leadership debt. If you can't get the high enough level of the softwares that you need in order to build your software company or whatever, if you start low, you're going to have some technical debt that might incur as along the way. Same thing with your data debt. So you're gonna have lots of debts that money could have otherwise solved for you, but you don't have money as one of the things that you're in debt for. Now, to be clear, there are pros and cons there. Like the pro is that you can stay alive a lot longer because you typically keep your cost basis a lot lower. The downside is that it goes slower. And so your capital constraint will oftentimes limit the size of what you can pursue from day one. If you wanted to start an AI robotics business to go global, it would be incredibly unlikely that you would succeed because the amount of capital it would cost to just build one robot, let alone many robots as you scale, and then you'd functionally probably lose money on building that first robot.